Hello, my name is Melissa Skilder, and I am the Low Income Taxpayer Clinic Director for Southeastern Ohio Legal Services. We're going to talk about who are qualifying children for the Earned Income Tax Credit. As you may have seen in another video, the Earned Income Tax Credit is a work credit that may give you money back at tax time or lower the amount of taxes that you owe. You can claim the credit whether you are single or married, whether you have children or not. You do have to have earned money from a job or self-employment income and earn less than the limits set out by the law. How much is the Earned Income Tax Credit? It depends. The credit depends on your income, marital status, and family size. In 2021, the credit is worth up to $6,728 for a family. The credit rises with earned income until it reaches a maximum amount and then gradually phases out. Families with more children are eligible for higher credit amounts. In order to be a qualifying child, the child has to pass all 4 of the following tests: relationship, age, residency, and questions regarding a joint return. Let's take each of these. Relationship. A qualifying child is a child who is your son or daughter, stepchild, foster child, including a child who's been placed with you by a court, or a descendant of any of those. For example, your grandchild. Your grandchild qualifies because that child is the son or daughter of your son or daughter, and therefore their descendant. Or they could qualify as your brother or sister, half-brother or half-sister, stepbrother, stepsister, or a descendant of any of those. In those cases, one example of a descendant of those would be a niece or nephew because they are descendant of your brother or sister. A qualifying child also has to be an appropriate age. They must be under the age of 19 at the end of 2021 and younger than you or your spouse if filing jointly, under the age of 24 at the end of 2021 and a student and younger than you or your spouse if filing jointly, or permanently and totally disabled at any time during the year, regardless of age. A qualifying child must have also lived with you in the United States for more than half of the year. What that means is that they must have stayed with you at your home for more than half of the nights of the year. You can't claim a child for the EITC if they don't meet this residency requirement, even if you paid for most or even all of the child's living expenses, and even if a court order allows you to claim the child for tax purposes. There may be an examination after you claim the credit where you would need to provide documentation that shows where you lived throughout the year and shows that the child was with you for enough time. If you have documents with your child's address, you might want to set them aside just in case there is an examination later. There are exceptions to this rule for temporary absences, birth, death, and kidnapping. If you think that one of these may apply, you should check with a tax professional. Finally, the child may not have filed a married filing joint tax return for this year, unless they are only doing so to claim a refund of tax withheld. This is generally true when they do not have a filing requirement. If they had a filing requirement and filed a joint return, then they cannot be a qualifying child for the EITC. A child can only be claimed by one taxpayer or by married taxpayers filing a joint return, and can only be a qualifying child for the EITC for one tax return. If you're uncertain about whether another parent or family member should be claiming your child, use the IRS EITC assistant linked below in order to help you learn more, or you may want to consult a tax professional. There are a lot of options for getting free help in filing your tax return. The IRS has announced that they will start accepting e-filed 2021 returns on January 24, 2022. We highly recommend that you use an e-filing option if at all possible, as these electronic returns will be processed much more quickly than paper-filed returns. Here is a list of several options for finding free help from reliable and trusted community partners, including the IRS. If you go to www.getyourrefund.org/UW, you can be connected with volunteers who have been trained to provide free and reliable tax preparation assistance. Or if you start from the IRS website, you can find software that will allow you to do your own return and submit it electronically. If you need assistance in finding local help, try calling 311. If you've had problems with claiming the EITC, you may want to reach out to a low-income taxpayer clinic. These clinics can assist taxpayers with audits or examinations, help with IRS collections, and other IRS controversies. The contact information for Ohio clinics is provided in this chart. Those outside of Ohio can follow the link to the Taxpayer Advocates website to find additional resources.